the man you're about to meet is someone who spent over 10 years at Boeing as a technical program manager, where like 60 to 80 hour weeks are completely normal. Yet despite this, he's managed to get funded for $200,000 and potentially more within just his first like 3 to 4 months in Blueprint. So I've actually got a theory about why people like Victor can succeed this quickly. And no, it's not the technicals, because honestly, you can learn the technicals in just a few short weeks. Instead, it's something else completely, and at least for now, Victor fits this pattern almost perfectly. So just going to get into a conversation on what actually separates the people who make it and the people who don't. So one of the really memorable things about reading your answers back in the onboarding form back then is the fact that there was a week where you specifically said you hit 62 hours by Thursday.
Yeah.
Let me just ask you one question. How many hours are you actually putting into your job right now?
I think right now it's been winding down. So probably between 55 and 65 a week.
But what was it before then?
I think during busy times when we're high in testing, it'll probably be closer to 65, 70. So in the higher range of that. Yeah. I think anymore I'll just die. So yeah.
And is this just on Monday to Friday, or is it Saturdays?
I work through the weekends. Yeah. I'll work through the weekend, so it'll probably be around 11, 12 hours on the weekdays and then 4 or 5 hours on the weekends.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's only been this bad since I moved into a TPM role. Back when I was an engineer, the hours are a little better, but management's a little worse. Yeah.
I see. Well, actually, speaking about TPM, so you're a technical program manager, which I feel like most people watching this will not know what a TPM does, including myself. So how would you describe what do you actually do? And also, how does a normal day look like? A normal Tuesday look like for someone like you in your role?
Yeah, I guess the easiest one word answer or one sentence answer is I'm leading the program and solving any problems for the team in general. But in terms of higher level, whichever program I'm leading, since right now I'm leading on space programs, so hypersonic, so missiles and rockets going to space. So I guess a normal Tuesday would be going in, making sure all my engineers on my team have resources that they need, looking at technical drawings, approving different things, and looking at the budget schedule of the program to see if we're on track, and then having customer meetings and letting them know how the program's doing, talking to leadership about how much money we're making, and essentially that. So yeah, a bit of everything.
Got you. So almost like a central hub that make sure everyone kind of goes through you, and you make sure everyone's doing the right thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like a Swiss Army knife. Any problem or anytime there's something wrong, they'll come up to me and hey, I need help. So I need to figure it out, because I can't be I don't know how to do it either. I have to figure it out. So yeah.
Got you. That's interesting, man. And you said you were on the space program. Man, I don't even know where to ask.
Yeah, so we make a specific part of the missile, and it goes into space. So there's I guess I have different programs, and each program has different products that they're making.
Got you. Not gonna dive too deep into it in case there's any confidential information. Got you.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to talk about it either.
No worries, man. All we know is that you do cool shit. So this is also quite interesting for me, and I like to ask people this. So clearly you've got a pretty well-paying job. You've been at this for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? And usually when I speak to people like yourself, they usually come to realization okay, maybe this is not what they want to do for the next 20, 30 years, despite how good it may be. Did you come to a similar realization?
Yeah, I think I've always had that realization all the way since I was in college. I was knew I needed to do something, and before it was finding some type of side hustle, and I've tried different things drop shipping for a while, and obviously that went nowhere, and arbitrage, sports betting. So I knew I wanted to try something, or eventually not work a 9 to 5 and just continue on in corporate and just continue on this path. So I've always had that mindset of finding something. I just didn't know exactly what it was, but I am pretty into investing. And then I think it was on YouTube one day, and your channel suddenly just popped up, and I watched it for maybe a week, not even trading, just following along. And then I was yeah, this guy is a pretty genuine guy. He's not all the other Instagram traders flexing their Lambos and everything. And he's just talking about the charts and giving sound advice. So I was I kind of like this. So I think the next week I just signed up for the course, and then yeah, everything's been good since.
Nice. Good stuff. You always knew was it more of Boeing or like, your job was just going to be, what kind of fills in the gap temporarily, but eventually you would want to migrate over to your own thing? Is that kind of what?
I think initially what I was planning was just working corporate and then like saving money and making money, investing my money and then letting it grow. And then after a few years of that, I will start like investing in real estate and just buying property and then renting it out and then buying more property on loans and then just renting and then doing real estate full time. And I think I'll still want to do that later on. But then right now I just realized how like easy it is to just trade. You don't have to deal with tenants or any of like the paperwork. It's just hop on the charts, make some money and then go to work. And then eventually once I'm like consistently profitable, then I might leave my corporate job eventually.
Sick. We're definitely going to get into that in a bit.
Yeah.
And so, earlier you mentioned, well, not only earlier, but also I remember reading this on your onboarding form as well. Like you've been in like crypto / stocks / investing since like what, 2016?
Yeah.
Were you like always buying and holding just whole time?
Yeah, I think I bought like some Bitcoin and Ethereum like back in 2016, but then I sold in 2020. So I made like some decent profits. And then I also bought, but back then I didn't really understand the 4-year cycle. So I think back in 2021 I bought at the peak and then everything just dropped and I just held the bags for that. So I was like, I'm not gonna touch crypto ever again until like this past like, I guess once I think FTX crashed and like the bottom came in, I like bought some more crypto and just held it and I'm still holding it right now. But then after that, I just started investing in stocks and just trying to play it safe and sound.
Got you. I mean, everyone goes through that, man. Like,
yeah,
you will never meet a crypto bro that has never bought the top and held through like a 90% drop.
Yeah. And I guess even like back in like 2016, 2017, I was like pretty degenerate in terms of like buying stock. Cause back then, I think me and my friends, we joined this like Signals options group and then we follow it. And then I would make side trades where I would like buy earnings calls literally like before like 4 p.m. close. So the next day either goes to like 10,000 or just goes to zero. And like most of the time, I think I probably lost like 5 to 10K just doing that back in college. So like that was a lot of money back then. So I was like, okay, I probably shouldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, 4 p.m. is wild, man, right? Like if you told me you would wake up early and then kind of position yourself before the market open, I'm like, yeah, okay, I can see how that works.
No, it was literally just gambling.
Interesting, man. And so like between 2016, when you first, bought some crypto and when you first bought some Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the way till, basically till the last few months ago, like, was there a reason why trading just never came onto your radar throughout this kind of decade?
Yeah, I guess like I always thought of trading, like typical trading you see online as a scam, especially like I'm on Reddit a lot. And whenever you go like on any trading, subreddit, everyone's talking about like how unprofitable it is, how it's a scam. It's just these gurus selling you courses and everything. And it's just like unrealistic. So I never even thought of like diving deeper into it. I was like, I'm just going to go to college and then work and then do real estate and then investment money. And then that'll be that. And then, and then I guess the past like couple months, I've been getting so many trading videos on my algorithm that I just like started looking into them, but I like still was a little skeptical. And then, I don't know what clicked when I saw your video, but it was like the least braggy one. And then, I don't know, that just resonated with me because every other one was like, just, I don't know, it seemed very unrealistic. Yeah. So I was like, this guy looks like he knows what he's doing.
Nice. Yeah. That was something I actually wanted to ask you as well. Cause like I get the feeling that you're quite a skeptical person. And not in a bad way. Like it just means that you like to do your due diligence and, you're not going to be, tricked into the hype and the Lambos and shit. Yeah. So it's interesting to hear you say like me not being braggy is kind of what led to gaining your trust. It's also something I try to do actively. Like with the trading industry is fucked, man. Like you mentioned it yourself, you went on Reddit and it's not good, man. And I'm just trying to stay true to at least my values. And I've never been into like the Lambos. I've never been into, prescribing unresponsible, like just advice that is
irresponsible.
Not, like, yeah, like irresponsible advice. So it's good to hear this kind of be validated by.
Yeah, I think I was looking for like anyone that wasn't flexing like a Lambo or like a yacht or anything. I was like, okay, they're pretty like just essentially looking for someone that's like humble and just trading and actually teaching technicals and mindset instead of someone that's flexing everything but not teaching anything.
Yeah, exactly. This
Yeah.
even gets in my way sometimes, man. Like we joke about it in the team. Like if I were to actually be a lot more degen, like and just not talk about such boring things like probability theory, systems theory,
Yeah.
we would actually get way more views and like AOC would be a much bigger brand. But at the same time, I don't think I could ever do that, man.
Yeah, I think it's just probably not in like your blood to be like that type of person.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like I do enjoy like I do enjoy the finer things in life. It just
Yeah,
so
yeah.
happens that it doesn't need to come to flexing, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Got you. So now this is kind of like a follow-up question. Considering that, for someone as skeptical as yourself, and obviously I like my videos managed to gain your trust. You basically went from starting to watch my videos and like 1 week later you were in Blueprint. And
Yeah.
that's a pretty quick action for someone, with due diligence like yourself. What
Mhm.
was there anything that kind of made you decide like you just like trust me, or was there something about the program that you kind of read that okay, yeah, I think this makes sense?
I think it was trusting you. I think for me, the program, I feel like a lot of programs are similar, but I feel like it's the person teaching the program. And I don't know what it was for me, but just watching your videos made me feel like you were going to be a good teacher. Yeah. And I
Did I?
don't know like what it was, but I think it's just a lot of different like signals just from watching your videos because like it was quite boring in terms of like you just have a chart up and you're just talking through it. So like nothing flashy and it's all technical. And I'm like, okay, this guy's like about business. He's not gonna like mess around and talk about other stuff. So I was like, okay, I can actually learn here.
Got you. That's good to know, man. So in that case, was there something that almost stopped you from joining? Or was it like all good, smooth journey?
Mm, I think a smooth journey. I don't think there was like, and I guess I like also looked through your like X and I saw like I scrolled through like all the posts that you like that you made trades on, and then I would hop on the charts just to double check that you weren't like messing with the trades, and then they were like they were actually genuine, so you actually had like a good win rate. So I was like, okay, this guy like even though he just doesn't have like 500K like 1 mil followers, he's still posting every single day, and people are still like engaging. And I'm like, okay, like
Mhm.
that's the type of thing I was looking for.
Nice. I'll be sure to keep it up, man.
Yeah.
Now that let's fast forward a little bit. Now that you're actually in Blueprint, was there something that you saw right away, maybe on your first couple of days in the program, that made you go like, yeah, I like this, or like, yeah, I really resonate with this?
I think I really like the community aspect. Like even in school, I don't know if people know, but like you could pull up a map and see where everyone's located. Just that was just like
Yeah.
a small thing I noticed. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I think I looked at like the Genesis courses and I was like, wait, this isn't like that long of a course. It's like actually the technical is like pretty simple. And like the system that you're teaching is very simple. Like I didn't realize how like easy it would be. Like I thought it would be like very convoluted because a lot of like these like technical like charters online, they have like 10,000 different signals and the chart's just full of like different things and like and it's just so hard to follow. So like I'm like it seems like it's gambling. But then just I think your course is just like a system is all based off just liquidity, understanding where liquidity is gonna go. And just looking at that, it's like it made it make so much more sense. And then I enjoyed that how your first section of the course was all about like mindset and like how to learn. Because like I've been out of school for a while, so like even me, I'm like forgetting how to learn correctly, what the correct way is. And I think one of the things you said resonated like every day, even when you're learning, if you're like super tired, spend 1 hour, just commit to it 1 hour. And like that's like what I did, and it just clicked very easily. Because even if because my head, I was gonna like just do it on the weekends, just like cram it. But I don't know, that video just resonated. It's like, okay, I'm gonna like stick to this. So 1 hour each day, no matter how tired I am.
Got you. So it was for you. It was just like a commitment, like for X amount of time. You're just gonna because you have a
Yeah.
pretty demanding and busy job, man. And if there was
Yeah.
anyone on the planet that could just find an excuse to not do it, I'd say that would be you. So like just kind of on this topic, like what do you think was your secret? Like how would you say you ended up being so consistent? Was it just like that commitment, or was there something else?
Yeah. I think it was just a commitment saying like enough is enough. Like if I'm gonna do this, I'm just gonna commit to it. And I don't know, I think the way this group and like yeah, this group is set up is you're like trying to make everyone succeed, even with the onboarding form, just like understand what each student's like problems and weaknesses are, and then going through the mindsets where you're teaching people like you have to commit to it, or else you won't be like successful. And I think you're pretty like blunt in the way you like talk like in your videos and explain things. You're like, yeah, if you don't put in the hours, you're just not gonna get it. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. And like that felt like it was speaking to me because I'm like, yeah, I feel like a lot of things I like do, but I never like finish and complete. So I'm like, this is one thing that I want to commit to and just do it no matter what.
Nice. Like those videos that kind of like hit you hard, just came as a result of like, we internally on the team side, and I know this might sound a little bit like, oh, you know, this guy might sound a bit cocky, but we know that this stuff works if people put in the work. And for the longest time, we actually did not have the mindset modules, because I just kind of assumed like, of course everyone would understand, like, you know, they would need to, you know, be consistent, you know, you got to put in some hours, you got to, you know, commit. Turns out not. And so those videos were a bit of like a frustration vent, like, guys, come on, it's not that hard. Just put in the work and like you'll win. So it's great to hear you actually like say this.
Yeah, because I feel like for the technicals, you watch it once or twice max and you understand it, and there's like nothing more to learn because the system's pretty simple in itself. So it's like all about mindset and like how you deal with like flaws. And I think one of the videos, I forget, it's been a while, but I think you were talking about like don't revenge trade and just talking about like how you manage your risk. And while I was watching, I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna revenge trade. Like it's never gonna happen. And like it didn't for like the first month, but then like after that, I just got complacent and I like got mad some days and I just like, yeah, I just kept going at it.
Got you. Was that kind of like your first, because with a lot of students in Blueprint, when they first start, especially once, you know, when the theory is still kind of clicking and just starting to put their first reps in, there are always going to be some hiccups, especially at the start. Was that kind of like your moment?
I think my moment was after that. So like I got funded, I think within like a month after joining, and then I got close to a payout, and then I like started revenge trading after that. Like I think I hit a plateau because I think when I'm, at least for me, when I'm like new to something, I like really want to follow the rules and like try to learn as much as I can, and I won't break it. And after I felt like I understood everything about the program and like the system, then I just like started doing different things and adding my own twist to it. And then I would just start revenge trading. And then I realized it, and then it frustrated me like even more that I was doing it.
I see. What did you end up adding to it?
Oh yeah, so trying to think. All right, nothing I added work. Yeah, nothing I added work, but like for example, like we would at least like I was trading I would trade like every session, like Asia, London, New York, and then
Damn.
Yeah, I was doing
Even London.
Yeah.
London would be like,
so on the West Coast, like 11, 12 p.m., 12 a.m.
Yikes.
Yeah, so like I was doing like
New York.
Yeah, so I would just sleep like 4 hours and then wake up and then train New York. And then I would I think the biggest thing was that I was doing wrong is every time I saw like price tap into order block and then have a CISD, I would just like place a trade even if it was like a week low or I saw liquidity, I just didn't care. I was like, if I hit enough of these trades, then risk to like reward ratio is gonna make me profitable, but it wasn't. It just was almost every single one was a loss. So it was like things like that. And then even on like a funding account, I forgot to set a stop loss, and if the account just got blown in one day. So yeah, just making a lot of like silly mistakes that like had nothing to do with like the technicals, but all about like how my mindset was in trading and making like small mistakes.
Got you. And with all of this, and I like that you brought it up, by the way, because at least for me, I talk about this a lot, which is it's not about the number of trades that you do take, it's more so the quality of the trades that you do take. And I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with. Probably if I had to name like the number one problem that people struggle with is like overtrading, or like just taking trades that they're not supposed to. How did you end up overcoming that and just starting to not only realize that, hey, like this is not working, and how do you get out of that?
Yeah, so I stopped trading Asia and London in general. Like I don't touch it at all, and I only touch New York, and it makes the most sense because during a New York session, you get the most information about how the two previous sessions did. So you know if it's going to continue in one direction or if it's going to get rejected. So that's like the first thing I did. And then I limited myself to like 3 trades max a day. So like I try to target 2 trades on like 1 on each account. And if I'm trading one Forex pair, then I won't like touch Forex for like, I won't have 2 trades in Forex. I'll try to like touch oil, gold, like a commodity or like a indice. And if there's no trade, then I just leave it at that 1 trade. And if it's like a really strong trade that I feel like confident about, then I'll trade that on like on one of my live accounts and then also like on a challenge account. So try to limit to like 3 max. And then I guess I have like 3 accounts, and one I only trade Bitcoin, one I only trade Forex, and then the other one I only trade commodities and then Nasdaq. So that way I could like kind of separate it in terms of like which one, like I'm not gonna trade more than 2 of the same thing because they're like pretty correlated.
Yeah, yeah, especially. That's a good tip, by the way. Like, people don't really realize the importance. Everyone's trying to do everything from one account, but I like that you're splitting it up. Like, all right, just you have your own purpose.
Yeah.
Did I come from like the technical program manager, like engineer kind of background, like everything in its own bucket, keep it tidy?
Yeah, it kind of made sense to put it that way as well. So then like if Forex is just doing horrible, I'm not gonna like be affecting my other accounts, and then I could just let that one go or just not trade on that one. So yeah, I think maybe my background helped. I don't know. Maybe I'm just really OCD about how I want to do things.
Got you. Yeah, not a bad thing when it comes to trading. So earlier on, maybe just to kind of bring it back for a moment. Earlier on, we were talking about like basically your secret to actually staying consistent when it comes to learning. Everyone can also argue like, learning and actually trading, making money or like being consistent day to day. Now that you're actually like live trading, it's like completely different things. How much time are you spending on trading right now? Because like, at least for me, I like to tell people that, you could realistically spend under an hour a day, or at most 2, but realistically speaking, an hour a day using the system, and you'd still be successful. Have you found that to be true?
Yeah, I would say I spend about probably 2 to 3 hours. So like 2 hours trading, and then the night before I'll like basically draw like order blocks and like different things on the chart for the next day, because I wake up like pretty early and I'm like so sleepy in the morning. So
yeah,
like, and like I don't wake up exactly at 4, which would be like 7 a.m. New York. So I wake up around like 5, like 4:30, 5 a.m. So like sometimes like the moves like happening. So like it's easier if I chart it out the night before, but generally like 2 hours, like 5 to 7 a.m. on the charts. And then like the night before I'll spend like an hour charting and then reviewing the like previous day's trades.
Nice. All right. So I actually want to dive deeper into that. So just to start with like 5 to 7, are they like, you're zoned in, locked in front of the charts, or are you kind of like getting ready for your day, just kind of like in between?
I'm like locked in 5 to 7, and then like sometimes like if 7 or 8, if I make a trade, I'll just like put it there, and then I walk away, get ready, and start heading to the office, and then I just go to work, and then wherever the trade hits, like, so I don't really have time to move my stop losses to break even. I just ride it to wherever it goes.
Got you. And when it comes to the night routine of like actually reviewing through the trades for the day, is that something you do every day?
I try to do every day, but it might be like, I don't spend like an hour every night. It might be like 30 minutes. If I like didn't do any trades that day, then I probably wouldn't. But then I try to like review something. I don't know. For me, it feels like if I'm not reviewing something, I'm like wasting wasting like time that I could be spending learning. So like now that we have a WhatsApp group, if I didn't like make a trade, or I'm done like trading, I would just like scroll through the WhatsApp group and look at what trades other people did, and just like pull up the charts to see like what went right and what went wrong, just so like I kind of understand how like different pairs move.
Dude, and that's so interesting as well. So essentially, you do try to journal whenever, or you do try to do some reviews if you do take a trade. And if not, let's say life gets busy or whatever, do you still kind of keep a mental reminder, like when you do have a bit more free space, weekends maybe, like, all right, let me just go through and get it done, the trades for the week? Is that how you operate?
Yeah, like on Sunday, I'll spend like maybe 30 minutes and just like run through the week's trades. But like since I do it the night before, I don't really like have any further things to do. But yeah, I just like generally take a quick look. But like I think everything I already like made mistakes on, I probably already know not to do it again.
Got you. And so when you say that, does that mean that you've been doing it a lot less nowadays as compared to like your early days of trying to?
I would say like June's been pretty good for me. And even though I got payouts in I think April and May, I still like was just like, for lack of a better word, just like fucking around and just like messing things up. Like I think I've made like traded every session. I forgot to put stop losses. I've held through a weekend, and then there's like a big CME gap that's like also made me like, so I think I blew the 3 accounts, and 2 of the accounts is because I held through the weekend by accident, since I went to work on Friday, then the price didn't hit my stop loss, so I take profit. It just kept ranging, and I forgot to check it again and close it out. So that wiped me out. And then the other one, I forgot to put a stop loss. So those 2 were just like pretty silly mistakes that like I was close to getting funded on those. And yeah, it blows, but now I know. Like you learn from your mistakes, like quite literally.
Yeah, yeah. You only make those mistakes once to never make it again.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially the stupid ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like so many people, especially like I see this a lot with beginners that overthink, that want to kind of like get it perfect the first time around. And I just tell them like, you don't actually need to worry about all these little rules of like, oh, no weekend trading or like no overnight holds or whatever. It's like, it'll happen at some point. It happens to everyone, including myself. It happens once and then you know what to do next time. Like maybe read the rules and it'll start making sense. It's not going to be the end of the world,
exactly. Yeah.
Nice. And when you like, can you walk me through your review process? Like, how do you do it and what are you looking for?
Yeah. So I'll look at probably the 1 hour chart. That's what I focus on to see like if a trade went well. I just want to confirm that it went well because like it met all the criteria for the trade and not just like I got lucky. So I'll see like if we bounce like it made a trade from an order block or a fair value gap and it bounced to see like if it like had a negative CSD in the opposite direction or if it was like valid trade. And then I guess for the ones that I like lose, I spent like a lot of time trying to understand why I lose, like if it's just because of how the price action was that day or if I like broke some rule in my system. And then I feel like every trade that I lose, I can always find a reason that like it lost because maybe I didn't follow a rule, but then it might not always necessarily be true. So I might like be overthinking it because I think oftentimes when I do lose a trade, like if the general direction is going the opposite way, then I know like for the most part that it's just how price action was that day. But then if like price just like wick me out or just like swept liquidity and then swept like past my stop loss by a few pips, then I probably know that there was some type of relatively equal low on the bottom or relatively equal high that I just didn't see. And then I feel like for the most part, that is true because I might think something's like a strong high or low because it swept some liquidity, but then there's like still like some more liquidity under that. And I just wasn't patient enough. Like I think prime example, which is why I basically don't really trade gold anymore is it doesn't matter how patient I am. I could wait for it to sweep liquidity like 3 times. And then as soon as I place the stop loss, it would just like sweep my like stop loss and it just like shoot up. And like, yeah, it just pisses me off. So I just try not to trade it at all.
Yeah, it's funny that you talk about that because like I think there's 2 separate groups. There's 2 very distinct groups in for people using the system, which is you're either good at everything else but gold or you're only good at gold and not everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Gold sucks, man.
Yeah. Some people argue otherwise, but I'm also in the camp of like I'm also in your camp.
Yeah. I think today on the WhatsApp I saw Young One had a gold trade for like 5.8R or whatever. Yeah, it was pretty crazy because I was looking at the same trade and then I saw that it was a strong high. It swept some liquidity, but I saw there was like some more relatively equal lows under that. And I was like thinking of waiting until it swept that. But as soon as news broke, it just shot up. Yeah, but I don't regret not getting that trade because I hate gold.
Yeah, stick to your system and just stick to your lane.
Yeah.
And just to touch on like one probably like detail in terms of the review process. What tool are you using any tools or is it like Notion, just like pen and paper, TradeZella?
Yeah.
Like how are you doing it?
I have Notion. I made a Notion table with all my trades and it's like pretty detailed and then I'll just like run through that. And then the good thing about Notion is I'm able to screenshot my trades and then attach it to like each row. So when I'm like reviewing each night, I can just click on it. I don't have to go to trading view and then like find the chart. I'll just click it and then I'll look at my comments of what I said and then see if it's still like accurate and then like really try to internalize to see like if I really made a mistake or not. And I think sometimes I spend like 15 minutes just looking at this one trade to like really understand it. I feel like that's a bit too long because then I feel like with any trade, you can always find some problems with it because like none of the trades are like perfect. Yeah. So.
And when you say like you're looking through your thoughts, is it that when you're charting it out on TradingView, let's say the night before or during the trade, like you're actually writing stuff on the like putting text box on the TradingView chart, or is it like journaling during the session?
I journal as soon as I place a trade because I know like if I don't do it as soon as I place the trade, I'm gonna get lazy. I won't get to it. So I'll put it in Notion and then I'll put like any comments about like why I put this trade and like what I was feeling and then why I thought it was a good idea. And I'll talk like through my entire thought process, like, oh, daily bias was bearish and then I saw it tapped into this order block and then it might have had like some liquidity here, but it got swept out. So I saw this early CSD. So I placed the trade and then I'll like write all that down so I can like read it later. And then I guess what I've been doing recently with on TradingView is like anytime I'm like I see any like liquidity or like relatively equal highs or lows, I'll like just circle it. So like I know I'm waiting for a price to tap this before it like goes up. So that way, like if I'm looking to like 5, 6 charts, I'll remember because sometimes I go back to the chart and everything looks good, but I like forget that it hasn't swept that low yet, and I might place a trade.
I got you. And dude, like that's I'm also this is something I realized with like anybody that succeeds in trading. They are diligent about the review process. And this is something that like I don't even know how many times I've said it at this point. It's super boring. And yet if you so many people think like, okay, you just have to take more trades, more trades, more trades, more trades. But like if you never figure out or if you never actually stop to see if you're actually taking good trades or if you're doing things right, nothing's gonna change. Like it's just gonna be waiting for like a stroke of luck to hit you and like, oh, maybe something will magically change.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I've learned so much just from like reviewing my trades, so I know what I've done bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so great to like actually hear you say it because I can tell you one thing, like I have this quote. It's like journaling is the highest ROI task that you could possibly do for trading, like bar none. There's nothing else that even comes close. And if there's one thing that you do as a trader, like just keep journaling. Okay, this is also advice for yourself right now because you know you've been mentioning you've been getting a little bit complacent with this.
Yeah,
Like you gotta stay on top of this, man. Like you never know at some point. Like, and I say this because I've been through this where in my early days or like in a period where I'm like locked in, I do really well in trading. That kind of gets me complacent after that, and then naturally that complacency of like just letting myself go in terms of because when you stop journaling, you stop paying as much attention to like your internal thoughts and why you're making certain decisions, and eventually that complacency you get lazy, and then guess what? You're gonna start blowing accounts.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah,
like you don't have to do it like as diligently as before. Like obviously you don't need to go 100% at this, but just make sure you never like stop because dude, highest ROI task, bar none.
yeah, I agree. I think also like a big thing for me is sometimes I journal a lot, but then I don't. If I get lazy, I might not review it, and that's what my biggest problem was in the beginning. I would just journal to like check off a box to say I journaled, but then I would like never go back to look at it. So after like I started reviewing it, yeah.
Got you. We're actually gonna really like I have the same kind of like method as you where I do everything from Notion, but then I get AIs to actually process it. And right now, the way that I'm doing it even is like I just voice note a literal brain dump, or sometimes I might just record a loom, and AI basically takes that raw data and actually triages it into properly like what do you call that? Populating all the categories of like, okay, so 3R, 2R, blah blah blah, just based on what I said. When that releases, like we hired a developer to kind of build out the backend for it, so it's almost ready. Like when it's out, like check it out, man. I think you're gonna like it.
No, yeah, that sounds super fire because I think just typing and scrolling is so annoying. But like if I could just talk through it, would be and it could auto populate it. Yeah, that would be crazy.
Yeah, that's for me like the biggest friction point, especially because like I have ADHD, and so me like I'm great at like actual thinking and like ideating, but like organizing is a fucking nightmare, and that oftentimes just puts me off. So this one thing alone has kind of brought me back to journaling, and that in turn has improved my trading a lot more just in the last like couple months since I developed it.
No, yeah, I'm super excited for it. Yeah, I've heard you talking about it during the morning calls.
Yeah, it took way longer. I think you can resonate with this as an engineer. Like your initial vision of like, yeah, it sounds pretty straightforward, right? And then once you actually get to building, it's like, oh fuck, you know, like we're version 5 in. It's like then you realize you need backend. And,
yeah, there's just so many small kinks that you don't plan for in the beginning that once you start building, you realize.
Yeah. That was the case for me, man. I literally told the team back then when we were actually developing the journal, when I came up with the idea for it, and I showed them like an MVP, like for myself.
Yeah.
Oh, they asked me like, oh, how much time are you gonna need to like finalize the journal? 1 week. It's been 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
And in fact, just talking about like engineering, because you obviously come from an engineering background, which is very like kind of like process oriented, and also in terms of like how diligent you are in your review process. Would you say that's something that came from your engineering background because it's something that you already did in your work, and so it just felt natural? Like, yeah, of course I'm supposed to do this for trading.
Yeah, I think I think that's true. Just like in my job, like even when I was an engineer, it's just you have to be really diligent on anything you do because you might be the only one reviewing it. And then if it goes out and it doesn't work, then like it'll come back to you. So like I always had to make sure. Like now with trading, it just feels like I need to be diligent. And sometimes like trading sometimes feels a little bit too easy. Just like if you like make a few, like you make 2 trades that hit both days, like hit the same day and you get a 4 hour and you're like, that's like only 1 hour of work. And I feel like I should be doing more to make this. So it just feels weird sometimes. And yeah.
So journaling in a way is like an effort kind of outlet. Like you feel like doing more, but instead of taking more trades, you direct that energy into reviewing.
Yeah.
That's a great.
So I feel like I'm learning at least.
Yeah, it's a great way to think about it. Solid advice, man. So many people struggle with this as well, like wanting to be productive. And that usually involves them taking more trades. Yeah, just journal. That's also effort.
Yeah, I've lost so many trades just taking more trades, so I know not to do that anymore.
Nice. There's also another observation that I have, like in regards to students in general. At some point, very early on, like they might have a moment where things are not clicking yet, and obviously they go through some rough patches. For you, it was the revenge trading and the trading 3 sessions a day kind of thing.
Yeah.
Was there ever a moment where it kind of got so hard that you're like, maybe this training thing might not work out for me?
I don't think so. I think maybe it's because I got funded so quickly that like I knew if I did it once, I could do it again. But also, I think I'm just like, I knew I wasn't going to quit with this and know like it worked because it worked for like so many other people in the group. So like I knew it was just a matter of time. And I think with some things, once it clicks, but it's not always linear. It's like kind of exponential. You might get nothing for months, but then when it does click, everything just starts panning out. So I was like, I just need to wait for that moment to click. And I think it's like with like when you play sports, it's not snowboarding. I like was learning for so long and then it just never clicked. But the day it did click, it just clicked. And then ever since then, it's just been easy. So I just knew like trading was something similar where you might not be profitable or might not get like a payout at all for like months or weeks. And then when it does click, it would just be exponential and just keep growing from there because everything makes sense now.
Nice. Yeah, it's solid advice, man. Solid advice. This was something that I generally felt from you throughout this conversation. But the way that you're approaching this trading thing is like, yeah, like, I'm fucking committed. And like you just kind of have like a fire and like a drive. Is there a reason why now, you're feeling this motivated to just kind of like commit to this? And second is like, why?
I think probably because I feel like I'm like in my late 20s now. I'm getting to the stage where like I need to commit, and later on I won't have the time to like do this and like commit to like trading and just like work a job and also like commit like a few hours each day to trading. So like no better time than now. So I don't like want to waste any more time just like think about different businesses or like different things I could do to like leave corporate and like eventually just do this full time. So I'm like, this makes sense. It's working for me. So I'm just going to commit to it and just like go at it as hard as I can right now.
Got you. So it's kind of like a enough is enough kind of moment, eh?
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
That's how like breakthroughs in life happen, man. Usually it's not like some big aha moment. It's usually like slowly but surely you kind of start degrading until you get to a point where you're like, oh, fuck, this cannot go on. And you do something about it. That's where the motivation comes from. So let's talk about like more so I guess you call it a breakthrough. Was there a moment when you felt like trading stopped feeling so random? Like, because earlier you mentioned nothing could happen for a very long time, and then once it clicks, it like kind of clicks.
Yeah.
What was it for you that kind of made it click to the point where trading stopped feeling random and it started feeling like almost easy?
I think it was basically like maybe 2 things. On a technical side, I basically only exclusively make trades from like a strong high or low. And I think that just like made my win rate go up so much more, because before it was every time I saw like any low get formed and a CISD and it tapped the order block or like fair value gap, I would just place a trade. And I didn't care if there was any liquidity under it. I was like, I'm placing this trade. Better to be in than not in. So that was like one thing. But then I think the other major thing is like understanding that trading isn't like guaranteed. It's like a probabilities game. So you basically have like, it's like poker. You have the best hand right now. Like the analogy you always use, you have the best hand. Like you might have pocket aces, but it doesn't mean it always pan out. But like the probabilities in your favor. So whatever your win rate is, and with the 1 or 2 risk to reward, like you're still gonna be profitable. So just keep hitting it if it's like meeting the system. And I think understanding that, like if I lose, I'm like, okay, yeah, but I won a few. So like I was bound to lose, like based off probabilities.
Solid, thanks.
Yeah.
Solid. Wouldn't have put it any other way. And like right now, just as a, I probably don't even need to ask this because we already know about that. And I like to ask this question with like anyone that comes on. Now that you're like 3-4 months in and you're relatively successful when it comes to trading, like was there like a misconception that you had about trading when you first got in that at this point now you realize like, no, it's just not true?
I think trading, like knowing about prop firms, because like before trading, I was like, the moves are so small, like in terms of percentage, that like even if I had 100K, 200K of my money to put in, I would need like a big movement each day. And then I was like, I don't want to use leverage. And I had like no idea about anything about prop firms at all. And then, even when I joined, I like heard about prop firms, like 3-year courses. And I was like, wait, this seems like a scam because it just seems too good to be true, where you pay like 500 for a 100K account. And then even if you blow it, you only lose 500. And if you make 1,000, you keep 1,000. You make 10,000, you keep 10,000, and you only paid $500 for this money. And it like seems cheaper than like a bank loan. So it just didn't make a lot of sense why companies would have prop firms. But then it makes sense after like the research, because the majority of traders don't get funded, so like they don't really have anything to worry about.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, man, how much money these prop firms make from people buying challenges and failing. Even a medium-sized prop firm would be making close to 9 figures of revenue per year.
Jeez.
And I'm talking like medium-sized. Like the monthly P&L would easily be like anywhere between $5 to $10 million just from challenges. And when I say medium-sized, I think just to put this into context, this would be something like Crypto Fund Trader. Not huge, not small either. You can only imagine what guys like FTMO and Funding Pips and FundNX or Apex. Actually, Apex is a big question mark. I don't know how they make their money, man.
Well, I haven't used Apex before, but it's supposed to be pretty cheap.
Super, man. You can get a 50K account for 35.
Wait, that's crazy. How do they make money?
Not 3,500 or like 35. 35.
Wait, that's crazy.
Yeah, but
is it drawdown super
really
low?
Long time. Yeah, super low, like 4%.
Oh, okay.
No, 3 to 4%. On the higher accounts, it's even like 2.5, which makes sense. Fair enough.
Yeah. For that price, might as well just full port the account and see where it goes.
Yeah, legit. The way I approach Apex is like I just treat every account as like one trade.
Yeah,
it's just $35.
Yeah,
that's the risk per trade. So then it's just full port.
Yeah, I mean, I would as well. That's super cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, like win big or go home.
Yeah.
Got you. So, now I want to kind of dive into just a little bit more about your background, just a couple questions. And the reason why is I've noticed that with a big part of the most successful students or not even students, like the most successful traders in general, have come, well, just in the context of Blueprint at least, they've usually come from a background where like they were taught to kind of follow rules instead of like try to improvise outside of the rules. And for you as a technical program manager, or before that you were an engineer, would you say that just some of the soft skills and the things that you kind of take for granted just as a part of your background actually helped you when you were first starting trading? Yeah,
I guess probably the process-oriented part of it is, I think engineering is very just like physics. You can't change physics, so you just follow the rules essentially. So I think my mind's very structured that way. And I think I'm a pretty organized person, so I just like structure and things. So like, I guess that's why it takes like a lot of like the bias of like your personal feelings and thinking out of it. You just follow the rules for the system. And if it doesn't hit, then no trade. If it hits, you trade.
Got you. I like it, man. I like it.
Yeah.
And assuming that there was someone, kind of watching this, that does not have your kind of background and, they weren't taught to kind of follow rules, is there any advice that you would give them on how someone like that could potentially follow rules more? Because that leads to good results in trading usually.
I would say it's probably doing yourself a disservice by not following the rules, because it's just going to take more time for you to like pass a challenge or get funded or make profit. So following the rules, at the end of the day, trading is a probabilities game, and it's all about your probabilities. So if you're not following your rules, then all like the expectancy and the risk to reward that you calculated for like how you'll be profitable just wouldn't apply anymore, because it only applies if you're following the rules and making trades under specific conditions. And like if it's not meeting conditions, you do half risk. If it's meeting conditions, you do full risk. So if you're not following the rules, then it's just not going to work. Even if you hit like a few home runs here and there, it just won't like make you profitable long term. So I would say that's probably the best advice. Knowing that, it'll probably force you not to break the rules and just follow it.
Yeah, like the alternative is just not worth it kind of realization.
Yeah, because you might make like a few good trades, but then later long term, it's just gonna be more pain than any gain. So might as well just follow it.
Makes sense. And so just kind of like as a follow-up to that, assuming that, because I think with a lot of people, when might not apply to people like you because you've always been an engineer, but I remember for myself as well, because with ADHD, I fucking struggle to follow rules. And I've heard this story from quite a few other people as well, where when we first start this game, it almost looks like people like you almost feels like you have some kind of natural talent for trading. But in reality, it's just like you're just following a system. Would you say that for people like that might be watching, that are like, I don't really have any, kind of natural feel for this, would you say that they could still be successful?
Yeah, I would say like, if you don't follow the rules, it might take a little bit more time, but I think the technical mastery of the system is like pretty simple and easy to follow. So like, exactly what you need to do. Like, I could spend like 10 minutes max, like running through like 15 charts in the morning, like not 15, but like 10 charts, like a minute per chart max. And like, I already know what I'm looking for. So I don't think the technical part is hard. And as long as like you understand that in the end of the day, trading, you're still going to be taking losses, but as long as like you have a positive expectancy, even if you're taking on the losses, like long term, it's still going to be profitable. Like professional poker players, they're still profitable if they like follow like specific rules that they play, or like blackjack players. But then obviously to everyone else, it seems like they're gambling. But if you like you have a system and you already calculated with data and through your backtest that like it is profitable, then all you need to do is follow it, and that's probably it.
Sick, solid advice, man. So if I'm not how much are you currently funded for right now?
So I have 200K, and then both those are like pretty bad prop firms because they have like consistency rules. So one of like upcomers, I have like 6K that I could just never take out, which sucks because their consistency is 20% best day rule. So I need to trade at least 6 days minimum wins, and I got 2 payouts. So like every payout, the first payout it's 1% of 100K. Second one is 2%, and now I'm like close to 3%. And then I was trying to get that one cashed out, but then they had a technical error on their side where I was $20 short, but it was showing I was good, so I cut a trade short. Yeah, so like that one like pissed me off a little bit. So then I hopped in another trade and then kind of revenge trade and just like lost a good amount just because I was like $20 away, and it wasn't my fault. It was a technical error. So like I emailed them, was like, yo, this isn't on me, and they're like, no, like whatever. So now and then I guess the other prop firm is funding your trades. I forgot who, someone in the group was talking about that one, so I started using that one. But then that one also has a freaking consistency rule that I didn't know because it doesn't tell you on the front page. It's in fine print. They have to go to into the FAQ to read, and it says 30%. And then I made like a $4,000 like 4-hour trade, and now I have to make like 15, 16K to cash out on that one.
Yeah.
And I'm like at 9K, so I need to just keep grinding until I hit 16 without making too much on a trade to cash out on that one. So I have those two, and then I recently started using a better prop firm. So Fivers, I did a 2-stage, so I passed the first stage. I'm on the second stage now. So hopefully after that one's done, I don't have to worry about consistency. And then I have a fourth account with FTMO for 200K that I just bought last week I think. So I need to start trading that one this week.
Nice.
Yeah, so 200K right now. And then I think after I get the FTMO and Fivers, then I'll just dump the other two because I don't want to trade on, because I just have some money sitting there that I can't take out, and it's just wasted time. Yeah.
On the bright side, at least when you do actually reach that payout, it's going to be like a 5-figure payout.
Yeah. So I just need to keep going at it.
Yeah, let's make it happen. It's interesting that you brought up the whole consistency rule thing, because I think for a lot of people, when they first start getting into prop firms, they don't really, obviously, I think at least for me and some of the people that I kind of follow and respect, like you would almost never see us recommend like shit prop firms just to save like a couple bucks. Because when you save, I don't know, like $50 on the actual challenge fee. You're going to pay for it later down the line, usually through some bullshit. Like 20% consistency is wild, man. Like that's 50%, like fair enough, you know, like FTMO has 50%, fair enough. That's fair. But 20%, yikes. If you could like go back, you know, if you could go back and talk to Victor from like 4 months ago, would you still start with like upcomers? Or would you say like at the time you still felt like it was a good kind of like cost to what is that, like cost to quality ratio? You get what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know if the quality is good, since I still had to hit like 8-9% to get that account. And after I got it, I had to just trade. I needed to get like 6 wins without losing anything, like twice for 2 payouts and like up to a third. So I feel like I wasted 2 months on that for like 6K, which I could have just spent on a little bit more money on like FTMO and or like Fivers from the start, which I did have FTMO and Crypto Fund Trader. And those were the 2 accounts I blew, holding through the weekend and then not putting a stop loss because I forgot. And I was like, why couldn't I blow the shitty accounts? Why did I blow the good ones? And it wasn't even like, it was just, like a silly mistake, just not putting a stop loss. I don't know why I didn't do it. Oh, I think I remember now. I think I was using MetaTrader 5, and then the desktop UI is so shitty. And then
it is.
I thought I put a stop loss. I guess I didn't. And I know you always say the phone version's better. I have an Android, and they don't have the app for the Androids. So I just had to trade on the bad UI, and then, but now they have TradingView, so I could start using TradingView for FTMO.
Yeah. It's time to get an Apple, man. What are you doing?
I don't know. I just boycott Apple.
Fair enough. Yeah. Usually people who use Android they have their reasons.
Yeah.
So earlier on, you mentioned something that actually caught my attention, which is like, rather than getting annoyed by the fact that you couldn't make the money, it was more so the time that you wasted.
Yeah.
I feel like this is something that people don't really think about when it comes to prop firms. It's like they almost value their money more than their own time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if that was even a question, but I just wanted to say, like, it was a good point that you made. It's not about, like, the money will always come, but if you like waste 2-3 months trading a shitty prop firm just to realize you can't really get a payout from it, or you can get very little payout from it, it's like, damn, now you got to start from scratch.
Yeah, and I think like a good example is, like, I have 6K on upcomers that I can't take out, and I saved like $300 to buy like a cheaper prop firm, and I have like money just sitting there that like I can't ever take out. So I don't know. I would just suggest never to trade if there's like anything like less than 50% consistency. Even like 30% is like quite annoying.
It is. Which is also another like pretty common misconception that people tend to have. Like, fun fact, when I trade prop firms, I actually don't recommend going for like big wins. It's like, if you want to stay between 2 to 3 R, I think that's the sweet spot, because you'll never kind of get above or below a consistency rule. If it's 2 or if it's 3, like, you're always going to be fine. But like, with prop firms, you always want to just go for like the consistent wins, rather than, it also helps with the win rate, considering you have like a 10% drawdown limit on most of these prop firms.
Yeah. I think the only bad thing is, I think if it's like a 20% consistency with like a trade, that's fine. But then they do it by like each day. So yeah, if you lose that for that day, then your overall like 20%, you have to make so many more trades just to get back to where you were.
Yeah. So yeah, the moral of the story, just invest a little bit more up front.
Yeah.
Because the alternative is not worth it. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Because you save like a few hundred max, but then you like quite literally lose thousands if you get it funded. And some of these platforms, I think FTMO for like a 2-stage, they refund you back the challenge fee once you pass.
Yeah,
so it'll be free if you pass.
Yeah. And also, money aside, it's like time, man. You could have had these 2 months to build something way more, I don't know, like solid. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So like, I mean, like, I feel like maybe since my time is so limited these days, I like really value like just not wasting time on stuff. So that's what I think when they were talking about upcomers in the WhatsApp, I was like, please do not get this challenge. It's such a waste of time.
I'll definitely make a note, man. Like, because upcomers, they get you, man. The actual like promotions that they do on the front end is like, well, I could get quite a lot of value for money, on the challenge phase, not on the payout phase.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they make it quite easy.
So clearly, So clearly right now, you're already funded for a decent amount and you are well on track to getting funded for more and for some pretty big payouts. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to hearing you post that 5-figure payout. It would be cool to see.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So just to bring it back to, I also remember like when I was reading your onboarding form, you mentioned like the reason why you're getting, or at least the number that you had in mind when you start getting into trading was that you were looking to replace your salary, which is, I'm not going to share a number, but like you make a pretty decent salary.
Yeah.
And would you say that, with everything that you've learned inside Blueprint, it's kind of like equipped you with all of the skills that you need to, like you're not at that number yet, but would you say it's equipped you with everything that you need to get to that number and beyond?
Yeah, I think so. And I think I just I feel confident. I just need to keep scaling. And then once I am able to show myself that I'm able to scale to that funding amount and then be pretty consistent and making profits each month for that amount, then I'll feel confident where I can slowly leave my job.
Got you.
And then do it full time.
And nice. And just this is just gonna be a curious question from me personally, but now that you're actually decent, you're starting to see success in trading. Has there anything that the people closest to you, girlfriend, wife?
Girlfriend,
or even just family members, have they noticed anything different or changed about you now that you've became a trader?
I don't think so, because I haven't, I think aside from my girlfriend, I haven't told my family or anyone. I think just because of the stigma of trading, everyone thinks it's not real. I'm just I'm not going to talk about it with anyone until I think the only time I will is the day I quit my corporate job, because I'm consistently profitable. But I think before that, I won't tell anyone about it.
Nice. I'm gonna get the team to save this clip for the moment when you actually make it happen. We just thought it'll be pretty cool to show your family this.
Yeah, no, it would be. I'm excited.
Where's your family originally from?
China.
China. Which part?
Fuzhou. So the southeast of China.
Same for me. That's where my original heritage is from.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, especially with Asian, especially Chinese parents, man. If you tell them you're trading, whoa.
yeah. I think my parents will lose their shit if I told them I was trading. I think right now, if I'm still working, it's fine. But if I quit, they would lose their shit. Unless I'm oh, I'm making this much each month. They're oh, okay.
Yeah, even then they would have questions.
Yeah, because they might be really confused. Because I think to them, anything even when I invested, if I invest in an index fund, they'll still think it's gambling. They'll keep your money in the bank.
That's such an Asian mentality, man.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Now, if you could kind of speak to the Victor who was just starting trading a few months ago, what would be a piece of advice that you could speak or that you could give to Victor back then that would have saved him tons of time and effort?
Review your journaling. Don't just journal and not review it.
I like it. That's another function of the AI journal that we're making as well. I've already pre-built a command that it actually pulls through every single trade. So the more trades you give it, the more it compounds, because every time you run a weekly review, it can go through the entire list and kind of just build on the patterns that is already kind of identified from before. So hopefully that'll help you out as well.
Yeah. No, that's dope. No, that would save me so much time, honestly.
Yeah. It's so hard for a human to actually process through. I imagine you have 100 trades in your journal. There's no way you're going to be remembering reviews that you did 4 weeks ago or something,
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't even go back. I just same week and then I never look at it again. And I hope that I guess if it shows up in the previous week's journal, then I know I still haven't fixed that problem.
Nice. It's good enough. It's good enough for most people.
Yeah.
Now, let's say that there is someone currently on the fence about joining Blueprint, and if they feel like this would be right for them, would you recommend Blueprint for this person?
No, 100%. I think it's an easy system for them to follow. It's a good community for them to join. Everyone here is super genuine, super helpful, and making money and helping each other out on basically talking through any trade ideas they have. In the WhatsApp group, for example, anytime anyone sends any trade ideas, everyone's reaching out and giving advice of what they think is good, what they think is bad. So not only just copy trading, but just giving genuine advice to help people improve. And then just weekly meetings that we could talk to you and just learn and ask any questions. So I think, for what's the cost for it, I think the benefits are way more. I made more payouts from the cost of the course itself. So and I have a year left. So I don't see why not. Yeah.
Nice.
And I guess like if you try it and you don't like it, you only spend like a little bit. It's not like it's gonna break your bank. So
Yeah. Well said, man. Sounds like the last question. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you would like to say, or something that you would like to share? Take your time.
I don't think so. I would just say, don't get the prop firms with like 20% consistency rules. That's like number one. Number two, review your journals. I think reviewing your journals and not getting shitty prop firms, you'll be like pretty like set on your way there, since the technicals are pretty easy to master. And I think the mindset might not be there from the start, because I think the hardest part of mindset is like just someone telling you not to do that, but you haven't experienced it yourself. So I think everyone needs to go out there, fail, and once they fail, they'll know not to do it again, because they have first-hand experience of what it feels like to fail and how like bad you feel after you made a mistake that you know you shouldn't have, and then you just won't do it again.
Sick, man.
Yeah.
Peter, thanks for taking the time. It's been amazing speaking to you. I've also just been reminded again that journal.
Yeah.
Regardless of who I speak to, if it's a profitable trader, if it's a trader that's doing well, we're journaling, we're reviewing, and
Yeah.
it's nothing fancy, but it's what works.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep it simple.
I'm sure it'll happen.
Yeah.
Like you've got everything.
Yeah, I just gotta keep at it. Yeah. Anyways, it was nice talking to you. Thanks for having me on.
Cheers, man. Have a good day.
All right. You too. Peace.